Sunday is July 19th, and for a very specific group of chosen ones, this Sunday is not going to feel like an ordinary day. Something that has remained unfinished between you and one particular person is moving back toward the surface. A conversation that stopped before the truth was spoken, a connection that became quiet before either of you fully understood what it was, or a person whose energy you have felt even during the silence may suddenly return to your phone, your messages, or your awareness. And if they reach out this Sunday, there is one word I want you to remember. Not a paragraph, not an emotional confession, not the explanation you have rehearsed in your mind 100 times. One word. Because the way they respond to this word will reveal more than a long conversation ever could. The word is peace. If they reach out on Sunday, July 19th, and the conversation opens the door for them to ask how you are, what you want, why you pulled back, or what you need from them now, do not rush to explain everything. Say, peace. That is the word, peace. And then stop. Let the word sit between you. Let them show you what it awakens in them. Because a person connected to you only through longing will not know what to do with peace. A person connected to you through ego will try to negotiate it, challenge it, or make you feel guilty for asking for it. But a person whose soul truly recognizes yours will understand that peace does not mean distance. It means truth without games. It means love without confusion. It means closeness without emotional punishment. It means the end of running, chasing, testing, disappearing, and returning only when loneliness becomes unbearable. Now, I need to make something clear before we go deeper. This word is not a spell. It is not a trick designed to control someone's reaction. It is not a secret code that forces another person to confess feelings they do not have. Peace is a mirror. It reveals the condition of the connection because it removes the noise that has been hiding the truth. Many intense connections survive only because they are surrounded by uncertainty. The late replies, the mixed signals, the sudden closeness followed by cold distance, the questions that never receive direct answers, the chemistry that becomes strongest when one person is about to leave. All of that creates intensity, but intensity is not always destiny. Sometimes intensity is simply two unhealed nervous systems recognizing the same wound. Peace separates spiritual recognition from emotional addiction. Peace asks one question, without speaking it, can this connection exist without chaos? And that is why this Sunday matters. July 19th carries the energy of a threshold for those who have been caught between waiting and releasing. You may have spent the last few weeks feeling that something was about to happen, but not knowing whether the feeling belonged to intuition or hope. You may have awakened with their name in your mind. You may have dreamed of them after days of not consciously thinking about them. You may have felt sudden waves of emotion that did not seem connected to anything happening around you. But Sunday is not about proving that every sensation was a message from them. Sunday is about allowing reality to answer what imagination could not. If they reach out, their words matter, their tone matters, their willingness to be clear matters, and their response to peace matters most of all. Because a true twin flame connection, if that is what this is not confirmed by how difficult it is to forget someone. It is not confirmed by repeated separation. It is not confirmed by seeing their name everywhere or by feeling unable to move on. Those things may feel powerful, but they are not enough. A true soul connection must eventually move toward truth, responsibility, growth, and mutual recognition. It must make room for both people to become more honest, not more confused. It must challenge the ego without destroying your dignity. It must awaken love without requiring you to abandon yourself. And when you say the word peace, you are placing the connection in front of the standard it can no longer avoid. Now, let me tell you what may happen when you use this word, because their first reaction will reveal which part of them is speaking. The first possible reaction is deflection. They may laugh, change the subject, send a joke, or respond as though your answer is too serious. They may say, "Why are you being dramatic?" Or, "I was only saying hello. Pay attention." Deflection means the connection may still be operating at the level of avoidance. They felt drawn to reach out, but they were not prepared to meet the truth that reaching out would create. This does not automatically mean they feel nothing. It means they may not yet have the emotional courage required to hold what they feel. And a connection cannot become a union simply because two people feel something. It becomes a union when both people can take responsibility for what the feeling asks them to change. The second possible reaction is control. They may ask why you need peace, as though your need is an accusation against them. They may begin listing everything you did wrong. They may remind you how much they suffered, turn the conversation into a competition of pain, or attempt to pull you back into defending yourself. This is the reaction of someone who experiences your boundaries as a loss of power. And chosen one, you need to hear this clearly. The person meant to walk beside you will not require your confusion in order to feel secure. They will not need you to be anxious so they can feel wanted. They will not punish you for asking for emotional safety. If the word peace makes them attack you, then the attack is the answer. Do not argue with the revelation. The third possible reaction is silence. But not every silence means the same thing. There is the silence of withdrawal, where they disappear because they did not receive immediate access to the old version of you. And there is the silence of recognition, where the word reaches a place in them that they have been avoiding. The difference reveals itself in what happens next. Withdrawal returns with another superficial message days later, pretending the deeper moment never happened. Recognition returns with honesty. It may take a few minutes or a few hours, but when it comes back, it sounds different. It says, I understand. It says, I want that too. It says, I know I have not given you peace. It says, can we talk honestly? Recognition does not always arrive perfectly, but it carries responsibility. The fourth possible reaction is the clearest. They respond to peace with peace. They do not pressure you to decide the future immediately. They do not demand reassurance. They do not make grand promises to overpower your hesitation. They slow down. They become honest. They acknowledge the confusion, the hurt, or the distance without trying to erase it. They tell you what they want, but they also ask what you need. They understand that reconnection is not the same as reconciliation and that love is not proven by returning. Love is proven by what changes after the return. This response does not mean every problem is solved. It means the connection has entered the only space where a real solution can begin. Chosen one, this is where many people lose their clarity. They receive a message from the person they have been thinking about, and the emotional rush becomes so strong that they mistake contact for confirmation. But contact is not confirmation. Missing you is not confirmation. Watching your stories is not confirmation. Sending hey after weeks of silence is not confirmation. Even saying, I love you, is not confirmation if the behavior that follows continues to create the same wound. Confirmation appears in alignment between words, energy, and action. The word peace helps you test that alignment without turning the conversation into an interrogation. Now I want to talk about why you must not send a long message first. You have probably imagined what you would say if they came back. You may have written it in your notes. You may have rehearsed how you would explain the nights you could not sleep, the questions you carried, the reasons you finally became quiet. But on Sunday, your power is not in giving them the entire story before they have shown they can hold it. Your power is in simplicity. The old version of you may have believed that if you explained yourself perfectly, they would finally understand. But the right person does not need your pain translated into 1,000 words before they decide to treat it carefully. The right person hears one honest word and becomes curious about how to honor it. When you say peace, you are not saying you feel nothing. You are saying your feelings are no longer allowed to lead you into disorder. You are not closing the door. You are setting the condition under which the door can remain open. You are not pretending the connection did not matter. You are showing that it mattered enough for you to stop reducing it to random contact and temporary closeness. And if this person is truly connected to your soul at the depth you believe, they will feel the difference immediately. They will know they are not speaking to the version of you who could be pulled back by a few emotional words. They are speaking to the version of you who can love deeply without leaving themselves behind. There are 3 things I want you to protect before Sunday arrives. The first is your imagination. Do not spend Saturday night creating the exact message you hope to receive. Do not decide in advance that every notification is going to be them. Do not build a reunion in your mind and then force reality to fit it. Imagination can be sacred when it opens possibility, but it becomes dangerous when it replaces discernment. Leave room for surprise. Leave room for truth. Leave room for the possibility that what you need to see may not be what you wanted to see. Your peace depends on your willingness to receive the real answer. The second thing to protect is your nervous system. Do not keep checking your phone every 5 minutes. Do not measure the day by whether they have contacted you yet. If your body spends the entire day waiting, then even a small message will feel like a life-changing event because your system has been building tension around it. Step outside, drink water, move your body, complete something that belongs to your own life. Let Sunday be your day before it becomes a day of contact. A true connection is not supposed to require you to disappear from yourself while waiting for another person to appear. The third thing to protect is the privacy of the moment. Do not immediately send screenshots to 5 people. Do not invite everyone else's fear, excitement, judgment, or projection into the conversation before you have even understood what it means to you. The first energy around a reconnection matters. Too many outside voices can turn a quiet truth into confusion. Give yourself time to hear your own inner response. Notice whether your body softens or tightens. Notice whether you feel clear or suddenly desperate. Notice whether the message creates grounded warmth or the familiar panic of needing to secure the connection before it disappears again. Now, I want to speak to the chosen ones who are already asking, what if they only say hello? Do I reply with peace immediately? No, you do not need to force the word into a place where it does not naturally belong. Let the conversation reveal its intention. Respond calmly. Do not punish them, but do not overperform warmth. If they ask how you have been, you can say, I have been choosing peace. If they ask what you want now, say, peace. If they apologize and ask whether there is a way forward, tell them only through peace. The power is not in sending a mysterious word without context. The power is in making peace the center of the conversation instead of making longing the center. Because longing has already had enough power. Longing kept you interpreting silence. Longing made small signs feel enormous. Longing convinced you to accept partial access because complete absence felt unbearable. Longing made you believe the intensity of the connection excused the instability of it. But peace asks for a different kind of love. Peace asks whether this person can come close without causing you to abandon your routine, your standards, your friendships, your sleep, your self-respect, and your trust in your own perception. Peace does not remove passion. It removes fear from the place where passion lives. Now let me tell you the first sign that their response may be a true confirmation. They name the pattern without being forced. They say something like, "I know I have come close and then pulled away," or "I know I left you confused," or "I realize I reached out before without being ready to stay present." This matters because true recognition creates self-awareness. A soul-level connection does not only make someone miss you, it makes them see themselves more clearly. If they can name what happened without blaming circumstances, timing, other people, or you, then something in them has matured during the silence. The second sign is that they do not demand immediate access. They may want to see you or speak more deeply, but they respect your pace. They understand that your heart is not a room they can leave unlocked and enter whenever they feel lonely. They recognize that rebuilding trust is a process. Someone driven only by ego wants proof that they still have influence over you. Someone moving from genuine love wants to know what would make the connection safe for both of you. The third sign is consistency after Sunday. This is the sign most people ignore because they become hypnotized by the first conversation. Do not judge the entire connection by what they say on July 19th. Watch what happens on July 20th, July 21st, and the days that follow. Do they remain present after the emotional moment passes? Do they communicate when there is no dramatic tension pulling them toward you? Do they follow through on what they said? The truth of a Sunday message is revealed by ordinary behavior on an ordinary Tuesday. Real connection can survive ordinary days. Illusion needs constant emotional intensity to stay alive. The fourth sign is that peace becomes mutual. They are not only asking you to trust them, they are also creating conditions that make trust possible. They answer questions directly. They do not hide behind vague language. They do not keep you in a triangle with another person, an unfinished relationship, or a secret situation. They do not ask you to accept less while promising more later. They begin removing the exact confusion that kept the connection from becoming whole. And the fifth sign is that you feel more like yourself after speaking with them. Not more obsessed, not more frightened, not more compelled to decode every sentence. More like yourself. Your mind becomes quieter. Your body feels safer. You return to your life with clarity rather than abandoning your life to wait for the next message. This is one of the strongest confirmations because true recognition does not erase you. It returns you to yourself. Now, I need to talk about the difference between a twin flame and a trauma bond because Sunday may reveal that difference with painful clarity. A trauma bond is strengthened by unpredictability. The person gives closeness, removes it, returns, apologizes, becomes distant, and then offers just enough affection to restart hope. Your nervous system begins to associate relief with love because every return temporarily ends the pain of the separation. That relief can feel spiritual. It can feel like destiny. But relief is not always peace. Relief is the ending of immediate discomfort. Peace remains even when the person is not actively reassuring you. A twin flame connection, in the healthiest spiritual understanding of the term, is supposed to confront both people with truth. It may begin intensely. It may activate wounds. It may create periods of distance while each person faces what they have avoided. But if the connection is real and both people are ready, the direction eventually changes. It moves from repetition toward integration, from hiding toward honesty, from emotional reaction toward conscious choice. If years pass and the same wound keeps reopening in the same way, do not call the repetition sacred simply because the feelings are strong. Sacred connection produces growth that can be seen. This is why the word peace is so important. It does not ask, "Do you still love me?" A person can say yes and still be unable to love you well. It does not ask, "Did you miss me?" People miss what they are not ready to value properly all the time. It does not ask, "Are we twin flames?" Labels can be used to avoid responsibility. Peace asks something deeper. Are you ready to stop making love and confusion look like the same thing? Now I want you to imagine the moment. It is Sunday. Your phone lights up. You see the name. Before you touch the screen, your body reacts. Your chest tightens. Your thoughts move faster. A part of you wants to answer immediately so they do not disappear. Another part wants to wait for hours to prove that you are no longer affected. Neither reaction is peace. One is chasing. The other is performance. Take one breath. Put both feet on the floor. Read the message exactly as it is, not as everything you hope it means. Then respond from the version of you that does not need to punish them and does not need to secure them. If the message is sincere, meet sincerity with calm. If it is vague, do not fill in the missing meaning for them. If they say, I have been thinking about you, you can say, what have you been thinking about? Let them become specific. If they say, I miss you, you can say, what do you miss? Let them name whether they miss your presence, your attention, the comfort you gave them, or the actual relationship they failed to protect. And when the conversation reaches the question of what happens now, give them the word peace. Do not add 10 conditions immediately. Do not explain every boundary in the same message. Say the word and listen. Someone who is ready will ask what peace looks like to you. Someone who is not ready will tell you why peace is impossible. That difference is the revelation. Now, there may be another kind of message on Sunday, an apology. They may tell you they have been reflecting. They may admit that fear made them run, pride kept them silent, or confusion caused them to hurt you. Do not reject an apology simply because it arrived late, but do not confuse an apology with transformation. Receive the words. Then ask what they understand now that they did not understand before. Ask what would be different, not because you are testing them, but because true accountability can describe the lesson. False regret only describes the loneliness. And when they answer, listen for whether they speak about your pain or only their discomfort. I am sorry because I have been miserable without you is not the same as, I am sorry because I see how my behavior affected you. The first centers their loss. The second recognizes your experience. A person capable of union must be able to see beyond their own longing. There is also the possibility that they reach out with something casual because they are afraid of rejection. They may send a song, a memory, a photograph, or a simple question that could have been answered by anyone. Do not assume casual language means casual feeling, but do not reward indirectness by doing all the emotional work for them. You can respond kindly without opening every door. Let them move from the surface to the truth. If they never do, then the surface was all they were prepared to offer. Chosen one. One of the hardest lessons of a deep connection is learning that spiritual recognition does not remove free will. Two people can recognize each other and still make different choices. Two people can share a powerful bond and still be at different stages of readiness. You cannot love someone into maturity by accepting what hurts you. You cannot prove the depth of the connection by surviving endless confusion. And you cannot turn potential into partnership by carrying both sides alone. Sunday does not take away their freedom. It gives you clarity about what they are doing with it. Now, I want to talk about what may happen inside you before they reach out. You may feel a sudden calm. This is important because many chosen ones expect confirmation to arrive as excitement, but sometimes the strongest sign is the ending of urgency. You wake up on Sunday and realize you are no longer afraid of whether they contact you. You still care, but you are not collapsing around the outcome. That calm is not a sign that the connection is gone. It may be a sign that your attachment to controlling the outcome has loosened enough for truth to enter. You may also feel the urge to delete an old draft, remove a saved photograph, or stop checking a place where you used to look for signs of them. Do not interpret this automatically as giving up. Sometimes your energy clears space before a conversation returns. You are not erasing love. You are removing the ritual of waiting. And when waiting loses its control over you, you become capable of seeing the person rather than only seeing the role you hoped they would play. Another sign may be a memory surfacing with unusual clarity. Not only a romantic memory, but a moment where you ignored what your intuition already knew. A moment where their words and actions did not match. A moment where you felt peace with them before fear entered. A moment where you abandoned your own truth to preserve the connection. The memory returns because Sunday is not only about whether they come back. It is about whether you return to yourself before they do. Now, I want to speak directly to those who have been separated from this person for a long time. You may believe that if they reach out after months or years, the length of the silence proves the importance of the return. It does not. Time can deepen understanding, but time can also deepen fantasy. The only thing that reveals what the silence created is the person who emerges from it. Are they more honest, more responsible, more capable of communication? Or are they returning with the same language, the same excuses, and the same expectation that chemistry will erase history? Do not be afraid to discover the answer. The truth cannot take away what is meant for you. It can only remove what has been pretending to be it. If they are truly aligned with your path, peace will not frighten them away. It may challenge them. It may require them to slow down and face themselves, but it will not feel like rejection. Somewhere inside them, it will feel like relief, because they are tired of the chaos too. This is where the word becomes confirmation, not because the sound of the word carries magic, but because of what it requires. Peace requires honesty. Peace requires the end of manipulation. Peace requires both people to stop using silence as punishment and contact as medicine. Peace requires that the connection become a place where truth can remain after the emotional intensity fades. If they hear peace and respond with openness, responsibility, and consistent action, then you are no longer dealing only with attraction. You are witnessing recognition become choice. Now, let me tell you what not to say on Sunday. Do not say, "I knew you would come back." Even if you felt it, those words can turn the moment into a victory over them rather than an opening between you. Do not say, "You are my twin flame, and this proves it." Let the connection reveal itself through behavior. Do not say, "I have been waiting for you." You may have cared, but you are not presenting your life as a room that remained empty until they returned. And do not say, "Promise you will never leave again." Promises made in emotional moments feel powerful, but peace is built through repeated choices, not immediate guarantees. Instead, stay in the present. I am listening. I appreciate your honesty. I need clarity. I am open to a calm conversation. I am not willing to repeat the old pattern. And when the central question arrives, say, "Peace." Let every other sentence grow from that word. Sunday, July 19th, is not asking you to chase a reunion. It is asking you to recognize truth when it appears. If their name lights up your screen, breathe before you answer. Let them reveal why they came back. And when the conversation reaches what you need now, say the word peace. Then watch whether they protect it, resist it, or disappear from it. Their response will tell you whether this connection is ready to become something real or whether it was only repeating an old wound. Write PAC in the comments if you are choosing clarity over confusion this Sunday. Subscribe and turn on notifications because the next message will reveal what to do in the first 24 hours after they return. The connection that is truly meant for you will not be destroyed by truth. It will become clearer through it. Do not chase the sign. Become still enough to recognize it.